Now, let me zoom out for a second because I think a lot of people are going to hear this and think, okay, cool tech stuff. But what does it actually mean for me? Here's what it means. Right now in China, OpenClaw has become a national obsession. Tencent just launched a full suite of OpenClaw products that work with WeChat. Alibaba launched a mobile app called JVS Claw that helps people with zero coding knowledge deploy AI agents in minutes. Baidu released its own OpenClaw app this week. ByteDance built a version called RClaw that runs in a web browser so you don't even need to install anything. JD.com is selling a service where you pay $58 and Lenovo technicians will remotely set up OpenClaw on your computer for you. Events about OpenClaw are drawing over 1,000 people in Shenzhen. A 27-year-old software engineer in Beijing set up a side business on a second-hand shopping app, offering OpenClaw installation support, and is making serious money from it. MIT Technology Review called it a gold rush. And at the same time, Chinese companies are forcing their employees to learn AI. Bloomberg reported that project manager at one of China's largest finance companies said her managers demanded employees prove they could use OpenClaw in a competitive contest during the Lunar New Year holiday. She said, since OpenClaw came along, things have gotten insanely competitive. Managers warned staff would be replaced if they did not use it. That's happening right now. Not in 5 years, not in some theoretical future, right now in one of the largest economies on earth. And here's the thing, whether it's Perplexity Computer or OpenClaw or whatever NVIDIA comes up with, and whatever they're about to announce, the underlying trend is the same. AI is moving from something you chat to something that works for you, from a tool you use to an employee you manage, from answering questions to completing projects. The chatbot era is ending and the AI agent era is starting. Now, I'm going to be real with you for a second because I know some people watching this are thinking, I do not even know where to start. I hear about all these tools, my head is spinning. I feel like I'm already behind. I get it, I really do. The speed of change right now is genuinely overwhelming. A new frontier AI model was launching every 17 days throughout 2025. Perplexity went from a search engine to a full AI operating system in less than a year. OpenClaw went from one guy's side project to the most starred project on GitHub history in 90 days. That pace is kind of hard to keep up with, so I get it. And here's what I want you to understand. You don't need to master every tool. You don't need to understand every technical detail. You do need to understand the direction. And the direction is crystal clear here. AI agents that can work independently on your behalf are here. They're getting safer, they're getting easier to use, they're getting more powerful every single week, and the people who learn how to use them are going to have an enormous advantage over the people who wait. So here's what's fascinating about the Perplexity versus OpenClaw dynamic. They're solving the same problem in completely different ways. So the way that you think about that difference tells you a lot about where AI is heading. OpenClaw is open source, right? Free. You can see every line of code. You can customize it however you want. You can add skills and plugins from the community. You own your data because everything runs locally on your machine. The community is massive and passionate and building incredible things on top of it. And the openness is its greatest strength. But that openness also comes with a vulnerability because when anyone can build a plugin, bad actors can build malicious plugins. When the software runs with full access to your computer, a security flaw means an attacker gets full access to your computer. Cisco found a third-party skill that was stealing data without the user knowing. 40,000 plus vulnerabilities were discovered. The Chinese government banned it from state institutions. Perplexity Personal Computer is the opposite. It's closed source. It costs $200 a month for max subscribers. You can actually get it on the Pro plan now as well for even cheaper. You can't see the code. You can't customize it the same way, but it comes with enterprise-grade security out of the box, sandbox environments, audit trails, permission controls, a kill switch, and it runs on 20 AI models instead of whichever one model you happen to configure. Think of it like this. OpenClaw is like building your own house from scratch. You can make it exactly how you want, but you're responsible for the plumbing, the electrical, the foundation, the security system, everything. If something breaks, it's on you. Perplexity Personal Computer is like moving into a luxury apartment building. You do not get to knock down walls, but the security system is already installed, the plumbing works, the electricity is on, and someone else is responsible for maintaining it all. Neither approach is right or wrong. They serve different people with different needs and different risk tolerances. But here's what I think is going to happen, and this is just my prediction based on watching this space every single day. I think the Perplexity approach is going to win for most people. Not because it's better technology, but because most people do not want to manage their own security. Most people do not want to configure AI models and API keys. Most people do not want to debug command line errors in terminal. And most people just want to describe what they need done and have it handled, right? The hardcore developers and tinkerers will stick with OpenClaw, and they should. It's an incredible tool for people who know what they're doing. But the mass market, like the small business owners, the freelancers, and marketing managers, they're going to want something that just works straight away. And that's what Perplexity is building. Now, let me talk about what all of this means in the bigger picture, because something happened in the same week that connects directly to everything that I've talked about. Atlassian, that makes Jira and Confluence and Trello, the tool the millions of teams use every single day to manage their work, fired 1,600 people, 10% of the workforce, gone in one announcement. And their CEO, Mike Cannon-Brookes, wrote a memo to staff and said, our approach is not AI replaces people. It would be disingenuous to pretend AI does not change the mix of skills we need or the number of roles required in certain areas. Read that again, or think about that again. AI does not replace people, but it changes the number of roles required. What do you think that means? It means fewer people doing the same amount of work. That's a layoff. They are spending $250 million on severance and restructuring. They replaced a CTO with 2 new AI-focused CTOs. And Atlassian is not alone. Block fired 4,000 people last month. CEO Jack Dorsey said they were shifting to an intelligence-native operating model. WiseTech Global announced 2,000 cuts. A CEO said the era of manually writing code is over, and tech layoffs in 2026 have already passed 45,000 globally by early March. Now, here's the connection. When Perplexity says that AI completed 3.25 years of work in 4 weeks, that's not just like a cool demo. That is the maths that CEOs use when they decide how many people they need. That is a math that is driving those layoff decisions. Investors are now looking at a metric called revenue per employee, aka how much money does each person at your company generate. NVIDIA is right at the top of that list. And the companies figuring out how to use AI to increase that number are the companies Wall Street is rewarding. So here's the reality. AI agents are going to replace everyone tomorrow. That's not what's happening here. What's happening is that companies are realizing one person with AI agents can do the work of 5 people without them, and they are restructuring accordingly. So the question is not like whether this is happening. It is happening. The question is, which side of that equation do you want to be on? Do you want to be the person who gets replaced because they never learn to use these tools? Or do you want to be the person who uses these tools to become so productive that you are literally irreplaceable? Because that's the real choice right now. So let me bring it back to the specific tools. Here's what you should actually do with everything that I've talked about today. If you're a business owner or a freelancer and you can afford the Pro subscription or the Max subscription of Perplexity, get on the Perplexity Max waitlist for personal computer. That's a no-brainer for anyone who does knowledge work. If those are part of your job, and if you're doing a lot of knowledge work yourself, an AI that does them for you around the clock is worth way more than $200 a month. If you're technical and you like to tinker and customize, OpenClaw is still the most powerful open source agent out there. Just make sure that you keep it updated. That claw-jacked vulnerability was patched, but new issues pop up all the time. So don't give it access to sensitive accounts until you understand the security implications. If you're running a team or a company, pay very close attention to what Perplexity announced with Computer for Enterprise. The ability to connect AI agents to Snowflake, Salesforce, HubSpot, and hundreds of other business tools through Slack is exactly what enterprise teams have been waiting for. This isn't like a chatbot. You go visit this an AI team member that works inside your existing workflows. And everyone, regardless of your technical level, should be watching what happens at NVIDIA GTC this Monday. Jensen Huang is about to take the stage at the SAP Center in San Jose in front of 30,000 people. There are strong rumors about Namaclaw, an enterprise AI agent platform. There will be announcements about new chips designed specifically for running AI agents faster and cheaper. And this could be one of the most consequential tech keynotes of the entire year. Now, let me address the skeptics directly, because I know some of you are thinking, Julian, every week there's some new AI tool that's supposed to change everything. And 6 months later, nobody's using it. And that's a fair point. I hear you. And you're right that there's a lot of hype in AI, right? A lot of announcements that don't lead anywhere. But here's what's different about agent AI. This is not a new chatbot. This is not a better way to generate images. This is a fundamental shift in how computers work. For 50 years, we've told computers what to do step by step. Click here, type this, open that. For the first time ever, we can tell a computer what we want accomplished, and it figures out how to do it. That's not hype. That's an entirely new computing paradigm. The numbers back it up. OpenClaw became the most starred project in GitHub history in 90 days, not because of marketing, but because people used it and their jaws literally dropped. Perplexity saved $1.6 million in labor costs in 4 weeks, not in theory, in their own company with their own employees. So the question is not whether AI agents work. The question is how fast does it scale to the rest of us? And based on what dropped this week, I would say pretty fast. Now, let me leave you with this, because I've been covering AI every single day for a long time now, and I keep coming back to the same core truth. The gap between people who use AI and people who do not is getting wider every single day, not every month, every day. A year ago, the gap was about who could write better prompts for ChatGPT. 6 months ago, it was about who could use AI coding tools to build apps. Today, the gap is about who has AI agents working for them around the clock. It's a new playing field. You're either on it or you're watching from the stands and falling behind. And right now, today, this week, you have more free and affordable tools than at any point in human history to start using AI. OpenClaw is free, Perplexity have a free tier, ChatGPT is a free tier, Claude has a free tier. The excuses are gone, the barriers are gone. The only thing standing between you and the future is whether you decide to start. And the people who started 6 months ago, they're already running circles around the people who are still thinking about it. I'm not trying to scare you, I'm trying to wake you up, because the opportunity right now is enormous. The ability to have AI agents that work for you 24 hours a day, doing research, writing, analysis, coding, design, whatever your work requires, that used to be something only billion-dollar companies could afford. Now it's available to you if you have a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection or a phone. And that's not the future, that is literally this week. So if you got value from this, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you're serious about learning how to actually make money and save time with AI, and you want a community of people who are all figuring this out together, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or go to the AIprofitboardroom.com. Thanks for watching.